Now we have 3 pages. Again, though, they're still distinctly separate pages. So we're going to begin the process of making them a website. And the first thing we're going to do is add navigation list. And when we say a navigation list, that's really what we mean. It really is a list. So I'm going to go ahead and add it in the index.html first. And it's specifically an unordered list. So we're going to do that. And in this unordered list, we are going to use what are called local links. So let me first make this. This is our home page. And you want to pick meaningful words. So follow along and go ahead and add this here. We've got 3 of them. One is about learning and one is about distractions. So I'm going to make the words on my LA match the page, right? Be something meaningful related to the page. So here, now I'm going to do a local link. So the LIs are right, and we've got this, and this will show up as a local, as a bulleted list, right? Because that's what ULs do. So now I want to make these A tags. So I'm going to put an opening A tag and a closing A tag before and after each of these links. Notice that the A link goes inside the LI. So, okay, so there we've got them all on there. And now they're links, but we know that we need to have some attributes, right? But on this one, we're going to do the href attribute, but instead of putting the whole URL, http:// whatever that is, we're going to use what's called a relative link. And that means just to go from where you are. So here we are in index.html. And so it says, and here I'll bring down my file explorer. So right here is the file I'm working on. And to go from here to find itself, and notice this first one is itself, it just has to look for the file index.html. Now there is some discussion about whether you want this to be an active link or whether you want it to just be empty. If you have it in there, it will actually refresh. If it doesn't, it becomes a dead link. So you can join that discussion if you want. I'm going to go ahead and add it. The next one goes to learning. So again, here's the file I'm working on, index.html. And to find that learning.html file, you don't have to go anywhere. You can look for it right where you are. So I just simply have to put the file name, learning.html. And one last time, I'll go to href equals, and here's the last one is distractions.html. So I'm going to do the file. Now these are relative links. So distractions, now that's going to capitalize it, and I don't want it capitalized, so distractions.html. So now I've got those 3 links, and those are relatives links. Let's go ahead and go in the web page and look at that. So notice they get the regular style that comes along, default style that comes along with links. So now if I click home, it stays there. It actually does a refresh and stays at index.html. If I click learning, it actually opens up learning.html. Now notice I can't get back because I don't have any navigation here, so I'm going to simply push the back arrow to get me back and be able to test distractions. And there, distractions open it. So this is a local link. All it is relative. Okay, now for accessibility, let's go ahead and add the title attributes. Okay, remember that what we're going to do here is put text that identifies what will happen when you click on the link. To learning strategies main page. Okay, now notice I got too long. Now I keep my editor at 80 characters wide, so as soon as I can see I've rolled over, I know that I've gone past those 80 characters. And so I'll just go back to the last attribute and push enter. Right, so I can go back to that last attribute, or I can say, hey, you know what, it'll fit if I actually go right outside, and then I can just, I can leave this whole tag on one line. So you make decisions. You can leave a whole tag, or you can break at an attribute and move things. What you don't want to do is break inside quotes. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add a title for each of these. I'll pause to do that, and you go ahead and do it on your end. Okay, so I've added titles for all of them, and I go and refresh, and it makes no difference. So when I've got everything working exactly the way that I want it and all lined up, what I want to do is now I want this to be common on every page in the website. Right, so right now all I have it on is the index.html. So I'm going to take the entire unordered list and I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to put it on distractions. So, and I'm going to keep the navigation right up here at the top. So there's distractions and learning.html. I'm going to again put it at the very top. And notice these I've put above the heading 1. So I'm going to go ahead and make this consistent here too. And so I'm just going to move it above. And later we may change this, so we're not committed to this, but let's go ahead and keep that navigation right at the top. And we'll end up putting a banner above it. Okay, so let's see if it works. So we go to learning, and there it is on learning. We go to distractions, there it is on distractions. Now notice some of the things that the link is common and they work no matter what order we do them in. We can go from one page to the other directly. Because they're local links, they'll really be very quick, even after we upload them, because they're just looking exactly where they are. And they're consistent as far as the location of where they are. And you want your navigation to be consistent. When users get used to your navigation, they're comfortable where to find it, and they want it to be always to stay in the same place rather than to be jumping around. So you want to watch that you don't put it one place on one page and a different place on another page. So kind of keep that really consistent. And that's how you add a navigation list. Now, this doesn't look like navigation. Don't panic about that. We'll learn how to style navigation so it looks more like the navigation that we're used to seeing on the web, but having it as an unordered list is the place we want to start so that we can later style it. I want to mention one more thing. Notice on these links that are part of the navigation list, I have not used the target attribute. And that is because I want the pages to open up in the exact same place. So that is target_self, but that's the default value, so I don't need to add that. And the reason I want to do this is then they always have the navigation to be able to go from any page on my website to any other page. And then it doesn't use up the users tab opening all of the pages across their tabs. But the navigation makes it always available to the users anytime they want it. So I don't use a target attribute on these navigation links.